There we are. That's us live to the world for Avis and Glass. It's not often you hear that, eh, Jim?
The metropolitan centres of the world.
Absolutely. Glass might be bigger than Avis, is it?
We've got a few. No, I don't think it is. It used to be a parish, so it's more like a hamlet that's sort of rather spread out.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Vic. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. I'm looking forward to the arm
coming in to steal the good ones.
Yeah.
Well, we'll watch out for you.
Anything that might be slightly sherried.
That's
yeah. I don't know which
it's
one.
It's awesome. So there's somebody joined already. That's good. And if another one. So folk are starting to join us, Jim.
Good.
So I kind of put on, when I typed out my little bit to say what we're doing, I said that you'd be carrying on my rum education.
Aye.
But I think I said it last time. I need to turn the tables on you and need to get you down and have a go on some of these whiskies here.
That'd be lovely.
See how you go on with all the whiskies. Because I don't know, I didn't know much about rum. And surprise, surprise, rum's loads of different colours and different flavours. It's kind of just like the whiskey world, isn't it?
Yeah, and we've got a couple that we haven't really sort of had before. So we've actually got 2 rum agricoles today. So that's done differently. That's distilled in Martinique, but Martinique at one stage before I think there was an environmental catastrophe there. It was actually at one stage the biggest rum producing place in the world. So is
that you can explain it to me later, but that's a different process.
It's more like they start with a different product. So a lot of people, depends how you reduce the cane syrup into a medium that you then brew with the yeast to get the alcohol before you distill. So rum agricole traditionally or generally you'd use the raw cane syrup. So it's almost like the first press of the grape.
Okay.
What they do is they then use the cane juice and basically work that until it was of a particular consistency, and then they'd start brewing that with the brewer's yeast or distilling that in the vats. Sorry, before they go to distillation. Whereas the others would actually they'd reduce it, so you'd actually get sort of a muscovado sugar, or you'd end up with your various different forms of reduced water, shall we say, types of sugar. So even chatting to Pat, there's a guy in Trinidad who's actually producing jaggery, which is it's almost like when you go to certain tea or coffee shops and they give you the cubic bits of sugar to drop in, it almost looks like that. So that it's just
seen that in India, the jaggery, great stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been a month since we've tasted, Jim. What have you been up to? Got anything good to show me?
I might have 1 or 2 little things. So we just got our latest releases back from bottling. So here we go. This was a fan favorite of yours, and
I absolutely loved that one. That was just right up my street. I mean, it's weird because I don't like bourbon, but I like stuff from bourbon casks. So that was that's a fantastic wee dram.
And then another one, it's a bit Marmite for some people, but this is actually the second bottling we've done. But this is out of our 5th Isla cask, so alphanumerics.
Yeah.
The first one might have been an A, maybe, giving a hint, whereas this one might be further down the old alphabet.
Further down the alphabet.
Yeah, maybe around a J or a K, maybe.
Yeah.
So
I know we should be all speaking out wonderful things, Jim, but I'm still not sure about that, man. I'm just still not sure about it. I need a few more samples just to have a wee test. I've kind of got through that one that you gave me with Isla 5.
Yeah.
But I'm still not sure. I have to be persuaded.
Really? That's all right.
But it's like you're saying, it's folk are loving it.
So no, it's got some really good responses, and especially with the Isla cask, folk have come back saying, whiskey in a rum cask is problematic, and it's difficult to get that balance right. Whereas rum in a whiskey cask, especially when you complement, sweet notes with smoky and deeper flavors, it really does add to the finish and build the profile.
Yeah. I have to say, I did like the finish of that Isla one.
Yeah.
Once the smoke kind of just dissipated a little bit and you've got that sweetness left.
Yeah.
That was really pleasant. But it's just doing my head in, the smoke on it. But there you go. There you go.
So we've got 4 to try with the Outlaw Rum, so that's 5 in total.
Excellent.
So, the guest list for today is we tried its big brother last week, but this is the first one is the Don Q signature release. It's a 2005 anniversary single cask. So this is done in American white oak barrels.
Nice.
So instead of a bourbon, they're just going straight for virgin American oak. So
right. So virgin oak. Okay.
Yeah.
And has this got an age, Jim?
It's 2005. It was saying. It's not saying how many years ago.
Not saying when it was bottled.
No.
Yeah.
But you've got that vanilla and the oak on the nose straight back, haven't you?
It's quite woody as well, and you have to be careful if you're maturing stuff in virgin oak, of course. You don't overpower it with wood. But that's not overpowered, is it?
No, it's quite a balance. It just. You're getting some fruity notes in there.
Sorry, Jim?
You're getting some fruitiness in there as well. So it's not just like, sometimes if you get a sniff, even in a warehouse, and all you get is sort of a bit of dampness, but then you just get that oaky smell.
Yeah.
You're getting some sweetness in there with.
Got a bit of nose prickle as well. I don't know if it's stronger or.
No, it's just 40%. So.
Oh well. So if we say Schlang Java for whiskey, what do we say for rum?
Get it down, you.
Get it bottoms up. Cheers.
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm.
You know what? That is reminiscent of a nice young Scotch that's been in a virgin American oak. Oh, we're getting the same kind of compounds, obviously coming out of the wood. That is quite Scotchish for me.
That's on the front of the tongue as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much better taste than the nose, to be honest. Now that's quite. I think that's quite different from a lot of the rums you've given me before.
Yeah.
Is that because it's a single cask, do you think, or it's the virgin oak, maybe?
I think it's I'm not sure if it's the single cask. I definitely think it's to do with the oak. Maybe
I like that.
Yeah.
Lovely finish.
The only reason that you'd say that was a rum versus a sort of maybe a single malt that's been done in a American oak cask as well is you get that perfumed sort of pear drops in the middle, that taste, but you're getting apple.
There's a lot going on there. It does smell like rum to me, but there's less of a rummy taste than the nose. That's really good.
I have to admit, I'm very impressed with the Don Q, their double cask as well, because their double cask was one that we tried last month.
We've had a couple of them now, haven't we? The Don Qs, and I've liked those.
They've stood up very well. They're great quality.
And you've got it. You can obviously get this in the UK then.
Yeah, so you have to hunt around on it online, but there are Aberdeen Whiskey Shop, who were very good to us. They started bringing in certain rums, as have a few of the other shops. But again, it's one of those things where once you found something that's good and works with your clientele or the people you're selling to, it's easier to sort of build up a bit of momentum. But you have to go digging to begin with.
So you must have a hell of a rum collection now, then, Jim.
It's getting a bit that way, yeah. Yeah, just
Let's get some shelves behind you.
I know this is kind of like the COVID office, so I'm still like jammed in the lounge. But
all right, okay.
At the end of the summer, we're actually getting an office built, so there will be some rum shelves.
Oh, is that you're building out the back, aren't you?
Yeah. So that will then become like Outlaw HQ for the moment.
HQ, nice.
Oh, I like
That'll
that.
be good. I notice you're not wearing your hoodie tonight.
No, it's too warm. I had to put the log burner on because it was like 3. We had hail and snow, almost May, and here we are, hail and snow stuff. But I'll put the log burner on, and if the log burner's on, that's it. Forget it. Just in t-shirt.
Well, I noticed my Outlaw Rum hoodie was hanging outside on Saturday because I was at a mate's house on Friday night, and he had a bonfire, fire pit, and we were stinking of smoke. So, but I notice it's washed now, so it'll be back on again tomorrow.
There you go.
But yeah, it's too hot in here for a hoodie as well. Well, that was a good start, wasn't it?
Right. I was impressed with that.
Mm. So how does that compare? Are we having another one, or are we going comparing it to the flagship? Or
I think let's try one of the rum agricoles. So let's try one of these. So this one is a select barrel from Clermont. So Martinique, which I think we mentioned at the beginning, that was at one stage was the sort of rum producing capital in the Caribbean, but you wouldn't say. Well, it even says French Caribbean rum, so a French style. So the rum agricole, they would mature it in the same way that others were doing in casks, but they would use more of the sort of cane syrup or the cane juice, shall we say?
Right.
So
that would just alter the fermentation then, which would alter the profile of the flavors.
Exactly. So it would end up being lighter in general. But this one is quite a light color. It's more of it's very light amber. You wouldn't call it golden. It's almost like
darker than the Don Q, but
yeah, only just.
But there's I'm struggling. There's a smell there. It's almost like the kind of
champagne
paint, artificial kind of smell you get off a rye whiskey. That kind of metallic. It's hard to describe.
I'm getting a bit of sparkling wine out of this. Sometimes you pop a champagne in it.
I don't know what it is. There's something there that I just can't put my finger on, and it's quite overpowering for me. Almost a nail varnish, nail polish kind of aroma. Oh well, bottoms up. I notice you've gone for it already, have you?
Oof.
Oh, that is weird.
It's not what you expect, is it? It's
it's earthy and
it's like musty.
I was going to say it's like rubbery, petrol-y almost. That is strange. It's trying to say something without being horrible. That's interesting.
No.
Well, I don't like that.
No, you're kind of getting a kind of young pear drops, or like you say, the nail varnish remove a bit out of it. You're getting.
Oh, what is it? You know what it tastes like? If you get a moldy peanut.
Yeah, because it's almost like you've got a little bit of like tartufo or the what do you call it now? That really posh Italian and French truffle. Tartufo.
All right, I wouldn't know anything about that.
You get it with truffle oil and stuff. You get that very sort of you get the very earthy, but it's quite rich, but can be a little
Oh
bit
yeah,
bitter.
that's like. Oh, I'm gonna have to say this, Jim. That's what is this? The third one we've done, or the fourth one?
This will be the fourth, I think. Yeah.
Is it? And you've given me loads and loads of samples. That's the first one I really do not like. I
Yeah.
don't like that one. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
That's weird. Is that because it's the agricole?
I think, yeah, and it would depend how it's done. You can't blame all of it on just on the how the distillation goes. Some of it's on the maturation, but again, it depends. You know, if your technique has been the same since the early 1800s, well, it might have been state of the art in the early 1800s. But again, you know, Martinique actually is, you know, when we're able to travel again and we're able to actually go, you know, for us in Outlaw Rum, and hopefully you can come along. You know, we were planning to go to Jamaica, Hampden Estate, you know, go to Appleton as well as go to Martinique to see some of these, you know, one just for our own education, but as well just sort of seeing the history and how people did it differently, and or why, shall we say, what, you know, was. I mean, there's loads of books written on it, but I'd like to hear it from the people themselves. You know, was it because it was a tradition? Some of it came across from the wine process. So you could, in the French colonies, it would be a different take on those who, like the British, were more into the gin and the beer and so on. So they had a different take on how they distilled and made alcohol.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not experienced enough in rum, but that tastes to me like there's an off note in there, that there's something gone wrong in the process. But maybe it's not. Maybe that's just the way that is.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Oh, not for me, that one. Give that one to Rachel.
Or the dog when he's misbehaving. No. All right, move on. We'll try the second agriculture. This is from St. James, so same island. It's Rumview Agricole, which is.
So did you say this is from the same island as well?
Yeah. So this is Martinique, but this is St. James XO.
It's a little bit darker.
Yeah, a little bit darker. Same idea, same process, effectively. But yeah, again, it's one of these where some of these rums are coming out now, and you can actually get your paws on it. So
yeah.
Now you get
it's a bit more of a inoffensive nose.
Yeah.
Quite fresh.
Yeah,
I do like that colour. God, that's a nice sized drum you got there.
I don't know. It's a little glass, don't worry.
All right, aye. That's what they all say.
It's a diddy one.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, that's more interesting. That's it's a bit nicer on the nose. See what it tastes like.
It's got a bit more sweetness to it.
Yeah, there's not a lot there, to be honest. But like I say, and it's quite thin.
You got a bit of a coating on the mouth, but there's not the, you know, you feel it all around the mouth, but you're not getting quite the flavors and the notes.
No, there's a hint of that flavor though that I got with the first one, the Clement.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just that process, the agricole process, that's just not for me. Not as offensive, not a lot going on, but give it a second chance.
I'm quite liking the nose. It's not.
Agricole process that's just not for me. Not as offensive, not a lot going on, but am I on repeat?
Yeah, by about a 10-second delay.
10-second delay. Yeah, well, some people say I love the sound of my own voice, so that's okay. What one you on, Rachel?
This is the rum agricole, so we'll see. No.
No, it's not nice, is it? Yeah, thumbs down. I agree.
Yeah.
It's intrigued me though, Jim. I'm gonna go and have a look at that process and see why it's so different. Because there's definitely something in both of those that is not hitting my sweet spot.
No, and I'm not sure if it's because they start with the actual, almost cane juice itself, and then, like you say, and each distillery will have its own way of handling, the sugar product before that, and some will have mash tuns or distillation tubs that are steel. Some of it's wood, some of it's, and some might have their own yeast strain.
And that's all going to affect the fermentation and the fermentation profile and the metabolism of the yeast that is going to affect the flavour of the wash when it's finished before it's distilled. Right. So there's something going on there.
No, definitely. But because if you go back to Don Q, you're still getting wood, almost like sort of fresh oak shavings and so on. But it's
Don Q is lovely now. After those two, that's why it's fun sometimes to do it relative. And go back and see. Oh, that's delicious. Even better. But I wonder, is it because I just haven't enjoyed the last two?
Yeah.
And you go back to the first one that I knew I liked. Oh, that's delicious, that first one.
So this is Outlaw now, so we'll see.
Oh, yeah. So this is flagship, number one, or first flagship. I still love that bottle, Jim. I think it's a great bottle.
Thank you.
So I've got it in my Highland Park glass. So. Yeah, see, that's just not offensive at all, is it?
There's so much going on the nose and the taste.
And it's so much smoother, I have to say, than maybe not compared to the Don Q, but it's much smoother than the last two.
Yeah.
And that's probably because it's had that extra while in the whiskey casks over here.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure how long the rum agricoles have been sort of matured. And the Don Q doesn't say. I'd have to do a bit more digging. So I can't say. But, we because our rum is blended, it's already aged anyway. Yeah. So minimum 3 years, but it's 5, 7, and 10. So.
But comparing it with those other ones, for me, it's bringing out some of the orangey citrus notes more this time. Very easy to drink, isn't it?
Very.
Nice one. That's good.
So the last one, I didn't really realize, but it's actually a small British company.
All right.
So it's part of the House of Macallum.
Okay.
So this is, they call it the Art of Rum. It's a vintage 2009, and it's finished in portwood casks. So it's a very
beautiful color.
Yeah, it's a smashing sort of box. They normally do a mixture of different whiskies, but this is their rum. Wrong way.
Yeah.
They spent quite a bit on the branding and so on. But it's been in a portwood, so being in that wine cask, it's like you say, the color on it is a massive.
It's a gorgeous color.
Yeah,
it has got a slight reddy, pinkish tinge to it.
Right. It looks like a Pinot Noir in the light that I've got right now. But yeah, it's a very red color, and I mean it's been on the social media, so it's not a secret. But we've just put rum in a sherry cask, and within a month,
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the color you gave me when you gave me the sample after a month. That was incredible.
Aye.
And that's after me giving you my expert opinion, saying, "Oh, this one's going to have to sit in the cask for longer because it's a bigger cask." I was like, that already?
Aye.
But there's definitely some colour come into that. The colour one. Got a beautiful nose as well.
Mm.
It's kind of like burnt toffee and caramel. Mm. Oh, that is rich. Wow.
That's very rich, isn't it?
What was that one we had? Maybe the first or the second night. Again, it was really dark and it was really rich and it was like burnt treacle. That's what that is.
Well,
And
that was a Ronza Kappa, wasn't it?
Maybe. That's a bit like that. It's very sweet, isn't it?
Mm.
That could get too sweet, I think.
That's what that. It's all. You don't want to say perfume, but it's got a very, very strong nose and it's very floral. And then,
Isn't it?
but then you
It's
get
got
that,
a lovely coffee finish as well.
Mm.
That's a pleasant ram.
It's not like the camp coffee of some of the others we tried on the first and the second.
No, that's right. That's good.
It's almost like when you've had chocolate beans, actually from the pod.
Mm.
There's that sort of rich fruitiness to begin with. It actually doesn't taste like chocolate. It's fruity. Then the chocolate comes in afterwards, but then you have to bake the seeds, and that's what gives you your high-grade chocolate and cocoa powder.
Out of those four, it's a kind of toss-up between the Don Q and the House of McCallum. Two very different rams. Well, Rachel will like this one.
No?
Let's try it again.
No?
Botanical.
Not sure.
A bit too botanical, or there's
All right.
A little bit herby, is it, on the aftertaste?
For me, it's just a little bit too sweet. It's okay for a couple of sips. You could pour it over your ice cream or something. But I don't think I could drink a lot of that.
So I've just had a sip of Outlaw now, and I've gone back to nosing this one, and that magnifies the sweetness.
The Outlaw Rum is just oranges and citrus and fruits just jumping out at me now compared to that one. Because I quite often, Outlaw is quite sweet to me, but that is not sweet compared to the McCallum one.
No, the McCallum, I'm getting a lot of how we talked about, it's almost like that really hard baked treacle toffee, but someone's laid a little bit of orange zest on it, so you've got a bit of that.
Okay. Can't get that top now. I'm just getting the sort of burnt toffee. Not unpleasant, but Don Q, I think. Oh, it smells nice.
See now,
but the outlaw just seems more balanced. I'm just thinking, because it's been the whiskey casks. That's my bias coming in.
But this one,
that's nice.
You get the vanilla and the softness and the wood with the Don Q. I'm not sure if I don't know if that's purely all to the cask, because when we did the double cask, it'd been, if I remember rightly, the bourbon and the sherry cask, I think, in the Don Q double cask. And the hand was coming in from the side profile and latching that one and making it disappear rather quick. But it was the balance, and it wasn't just soft. It didn't die out. There was sort of length of finish in there. So it was very well managed. I have to admit, I'm quite.
No, I'd put the Don Q alongside the Outlaw as the best two there.
Yeah, I actually have to admit, that you were quite partial to the Ronza Kappa when we did the first one, but I actually prefer the Macallan to that.
See, I can't remember right back to that Ron Zacapa. Maybe that was a bit too sweet for me as well, but this is just overpowering sweetness. It's almost like candy floss and just a little bit too much.
Maybe we need to do a tasting marathon, and we'll do like 16 drams all at
No. No, I think I did that on Friday night. I'm not doing that again. But mind you, when we started moving around in July and August last year, I did a job in London where I was filmed nosing and tasting whiskies, and I had to do something like 37 drams in a day. So, but I paced myself.
Good.
I was good.
Good. Plenty
I'm
of
glad
water.
I'm glad I wasn't flying back that night. I flew back in the morning, so that was good. My 2 flights in the last 12 months.
I know, it's a bit bleak, isn't it?
It has been, yeah.
Got some news because Edinburgh Whisky Academy, that's kicking off again soon, right?
Yes, they're piloting their online diploma at the moment, and there's an online diploma going live in June. Yeah. But there's also a face-to-face diploma in June as well. So business is starting to pick up, Jim.
Good. I'll struggle to do that this year, but Pat and I, when we can, we'll be looking to come and do that.
Well, I hear they've got a fantastic whiskey lecturer. So
I might have heard that.
Yeah. I might have told you about that a few times before.
So
that's good.
No,
some interesting drams, but those two in the middle.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I didn't get the ones that are aged a bit longer.
No, well, it's just like any product, Jim. I mean, there's some dodgy whiskies out there, isn't there?
Oh.
But that's not the right word to say dodgy, because there's going to be people out there who love those two rums. Same as, I like some whiskies, I don't like other whiskies. Other people are different. It's the same with any drink. There's going to be people that like that and turn their nose up at the Don Q. That's the great thing about us as individuals. We all like different things.
Right. I mean, I suppose the parallel with the whiskey industry would be some people would really like their Glenlivets or their lighter single malts, and then someone's going to go for a Lafroig real young, you know.
Yeah. Well, when I worked for Diageo, Jim, I used to have an old buddy. He was a friend of my dad's, actually, who used to come into the staff shop, and you'd get your allocation every 6 months. And he was like me. As soon as you got your allocation, straight into the shop, spend the whole lot. And I would be buying single malts and specials and whatever I could get, and maybe get 4 or 5 nice whiskies. Well, he used to come in and buy 18 bottles of Dewar's White Horse.
Oof.
And I would say, why do you buy White Horse? You're getting it for free. Why do you get White Horse? And he said, because I like it.
So there you go.
So that's the type of whiskey he liked.
And
who's the more fool? Me getting 4 bottles of nice whiskey, or him getting 18 bottles of what he likes? So good job we all like it and stuff.
It is a palate thing, some people really love Marmite, and some people have very, very sweet tooth, and sometimes I met someone at work who was textural, they had to have something crunchy or crispy. If it was slightly less than al dente, anything, they'd actually have a gag reflex, so
right.
So it, like you say, it is horses for courses. And we've talked about whiskies before. I'm a big fan of Talisker Distillers Edition. And I'm a bit of a tart for those, but then I really, I only know a few of the Isle of whiskies, but like friends of ours in Inverary, they were showing me different Bowmores, and then we get onto Ardbeg. Now I'd stick to Ardbeg, but Lagavulin or Kalilas. Yeah, I mean, I know you're a fan of Kalila, and they're massively different.
Well, fan of them all. I'm just about finished an Ardbeg 19 at the moment. I was given. I'm very fortunate to get that, and I've just been going through that like a dose of salts because it is so delicious. But yeah, Kalila is one of my favourites. But when I started drinking whiskey, Jim, I liked the Mortlicks, the Petit Vieilles, the Dilluins, which were sherry casks.
Right. Okay.
And then as I grew older, I went off those to the extent I didn't actually like them, and I'd be drinking ex-bourbon whiskies. But now I've moved back, and I'm starting to like the sherry casks again, and I love Tamdhu whiskey, which is sherry casks. So I think our palates change as we mature, shall we say. So, yeah. So, interesting drums there. So what am I going to have next time? Anything special?
I mean, it'd be interesting to do it. I think now that we've got our next bottlings in, I think next one may be in a bit of a big month coming up. There will, I think what we'll do is we'll do some the range of Outlaw. So we'll do the two Islas, the Bourbon, and the Flagship.
The two Islas, yeah.
All right.
Two Islas. No, I mean, well, it was interesting as we were getting the samples through. They developed, didn't they? I was really worried the first sample we got. I was thinking, no one is ever going to want to buy this and drink this. But it kind of really softened, didn't it? And was quite pleasant.
Because I like ultra rare smokehead. So that's the same. You open the bottle and it almost takes your nasal cavities off. But if you get past that and then you find some salt and you taste it and you can't even smell the smoke anymore. It's just sort of smooth and sweet. And then if you've had with a 19-year-old Ardbeg, it might be smoky, but there's so many layers to it.
So much going on there. But it's not that it's the peat. I love peaty whiskey. I don't know. It's just, for me, the rum and the peat just didn't mix. But that Isla 5, that had a different type of smoke than the first one. It was more subtle. But yeah, I'd be up for doing that next month. I might need another sample of bourbon because I don't think that's going to last for a month.
That's all right. See what I can do.
That was a stunning rum.
Good. And
it's fascinating to see how they change over the months with the different casks. I mean, that's your whole concept, but to see it in action is fascinating.
I think someone wants to try it.
Oh, it's going to drink the bourbon, man.
I think going to try the inaugural taste, I think. Go on, pop it then.
Well, I might have a little one as well, Jim, because I've got...
Go on, then. You go for it. The other thing is that, I mean, I don't mind if you can... right, that's a wine glass.
Oh, that smells great. So that's so smooth and gentle.
It's a bit spicier, more orangey than the Don Q, even though it's effective.
I'm getting the spiciness now. But it's fascinating. You've given me so many samples, Jim, of the rum as it's maturing out of this cask and that cask and the next cask. But that bourbon one, it's just smoothed it out so nicely and added so much extra flavour. It's lovely.
I'm getting a lot of bacon spice on the side of the tongue. Yeah. And it's not like we've used different rums in different casks. It's all been, this is
the same rum.
Standard, high quality, premium amber rum from Angostura. Then it's really then cherry picking the cask that it goes in.
Yeah. And we did obviously take a control sample of the rum which we still have, which has not been matured, so we can see the differences that's happened because of the casks.
Right. But no, we can do that, and then well, maybe we'll do maybe next month we can let people know what our little special might be for the next bottling in the summer. So dangle that carrot for a cliffhanger.
Dangle that carrot for next time. Because we have been working hard.
We have, our taste buds are exhausted.
Absolutely. But, you know, it's a hard job, but somebody has to do it.
There you go. It can't all be gym work and red meat. No.
No. Well, is it ever gym work? You know, my gym opened again this week, but I haven't been yet. So
okay,
I better start going again. Well, that's been good. Interesting. Anything else we need to chat about tonight?
There's I'll put the well, it's already out on sort of Instagram and the social media, but there's a cigar and rum tasting with Robert Graham's. So Robert Graham's is one of the oldest tobacconists in the UK, but they're based out of Glasgow, but they've got an old sort of Georgian shop in Glasgow, which is their headquarters, and then they've got Edinburgh and Cambridge. So we're doing, but during COVID, what they've done, and they're up for awards because of it, they've done like they've had music going on in the background. There's been people discussing cigars. There's people just also discussing pairing with cigars and spirits. And so we got in touch with them. So they're doing a Trinidad rum, which is ourselves, Outlaw Rum, with a Trinitario or a Trinidad cigar. So that's on the May the 5th. So that'll be and then later on, probably in June, we're going to be doing something similar with Sota cigars based out of Mayfair.
Right.
Well, that'll be a blind taste off. So we'll go from there.
It'll be interesting to watch that.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
Other than that, no, I'm looking forward to people being able to get out and about and see each other and
absolutely
actually like human beings again. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be good to get to some face-to-face tastings and meetings when we can have more than 6 people and things like that. So, but we can look forward to that, coming up soon.
Well, I think I'll finish it off with a bit of an
outlaw. Well, I'm going to finish off tonight with the bourbon one.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to sip that. So I'll have one last sip. Excellent. Well, thanks for educating me again, Jim.
That's all right. Look forward to it.
It'll be interesting to do one with just Outlaw next time.
Exactly.
So that'll be great. So I hope everybody who's watching enjoyed that. I hope you've got your Outlaw ordered and in. And me and Jim will see you again probably at the end of next month.
That'd be superb. Yeah, probably last Wednesday of May, I think. So
awesome. Right. We'll see everybody then. So good night and thanks for joining us. Cheers, folks. Bye.
See ya.